And uh, yeah, so yeah, we'll share the. Uh, I've already shared my screen, so I hope my screen is visible to everyone. I am audible clearly to everyone. If not, please raise your hand or just let me know on chat.
Yes, depend. It's visible and clear.
Yeah. So first we'll start with the approach of implementation, right? What should be our approach, okay, for implementation, like whatever deliveries you are doing, like whatever like core implementation or standard product implementation or any delivery of customizations, integration. What should be your approach, right? The first approach which we you which generally we used to follow, okay, and we are sharing this experience, this learnings from our like I have been into implementation from last 15 years. I have done the multiple product implementation, right? So I was in Tally, I was in TCS, I was in other product companies, and I used to do the implementation in a certain way, right? uh, so this is from, and also I joined Frappe in a delivery team 3 years ago when Frappe used to do the consulting and delivery. So we used to follow this process, and we have like learned a lot of things during the our implementation process, right? We also changed our approach, our processes based on our learnings and experience. So the first experience, the first learning what we have is agile, right? You should go agile for the implementation, right? Many partners are already doing the waterfall or they are following waterfall, right? But we have seen that waterfall is somehow not working everywhere, like, uh, and it's easy to do a agile implementation, right? Why agile? So basically, see, agile is a faster, right? Customer, you start seeing the result within a week's time or 2 weeks time, right? If you onboard them on the directly on the core product implementation, they start seeing the result, they start seeing the product, they start exploring the product, right? So they see some result. Wherever when you go for waterfall, you basically go for requirement gathering, documentation, blueprinting, all these things, right? And it takes lot of time, like lot of back and forth happens. Your customers are not ready with their processes, they are not aware of their processes. You also not having the consultant very good in documentation, okay, you don't have resources to do a documentation and other things. So lot of back and forth happens, and their customer experience start getting right, right, they start experience like they think that you are not experienced consultant or not experienced into the implementation, right? So so all these things happen, right? Where waterfall is easy, right, where you have a consultant, module wise consultant, or multiple people or multiple team members working on the project, right? One person is only doing the documentation, one person is doing the uh, uh, development, and all these things happens where you are the single person doing the everything. It's hard to do all these things, documentation, implementation, consulting with the customer, right, and day-to-day activities. So that's why we recommend agile, okay. It's a standard product implementation, right? You go and implement the ERP next. It is already a standard product which you are going to deploy at the customer side. Of course, you are going to do some customization on top of it, but the base would be a standard product implementation, ERP next. And most of the customers requirement is going to handle through out of box functionality. Say 80% of the things will cater by a standard product implementation, right? So that way also you need to go for agile implementation, because standard product you have to show to the customer, right? This is the product, this is what you are going to get, and this is what we are going to deliver you, right? If you are setting the expectation, okay, I'm doing the waterfall, let's give me a requirement, they start coming with the wish list, right? Whichever they are currently not using, like a lot of things, right? When you go for requirement getting, they will say, okay, I want this, that, okay, I want this integration, I want this customization, everything should be automated, right? All these things, but basic things they are not using, like they might not be using the ordering processes, they might not be raising the purchase order from the systems. Everything is handled out of the system in Excel or anywhere else, right? But when you go for requirement gathering, they will come up with their lot of wish list, okay. they are also not aware of their processes. What is their processes? Many times we have seen that customers are not aware of their own processes. They will tell you one process, the another person will tell you another process. So a lot of things happen during the requirement gathering phase, right? So customers are also not matured. They are not aware of their processes. Their team also keep getting changed. So that's why the requirement gathering and all these things should not be done, right? This should be avoided. Okay, if you are very sure that I'll be able to complete this is for project scope, that make sure you complete that in within a time, or and with the whatever resources you have, right? So, but like our experience, we never used to do the requirement gathering. We directly started onboarding the customer on the directly on the product itself, right? We also like one of the example like recently happened. Very one enterprise customer is there. So their go live was planned in 3 months time, uh, and the requirement gathering was not completed in 3 months. Okay, so now what happened when I went and I checked? So very basic thing, right? What they were raising that we have a process where we take advances against the sales order, and that process is not captured properly in the requirement document. Then I said, why you want to capture this basic thing in the document? This is available in the system. You go and directly see, or I asked partner to show why you have not shown the functionality, right? We have complete functionality where you can select, where you can create orders, and against order you can book the advances and whole process we have. So what happens, like customer thinks when you go for requirement gathering, they think you are going to build a custom solution for them, and these basic things would not be there, right? So when you show them the product, right, they also start seeing the product capabilities, right? For example, if you want to add one field, right, customer say, okay, I want one registration field on the sales order, right? How easy it is in ERP Next, right? Just you have to go and create the custom field, and that user can also do, right? But wherever you, if you go for other ERP's implementation, like SAP or any other implementation, right, you need a ABAP, you need to develop that functionality, right, just to add one field, right? So customer is also not sure like how much time it will take, how much development is it. But when you show them, look, see, this is very easy to create just a single field in the any of the doc type, right? So it shows the product capabilities as well. And it, when you show the end-to-end flows, right, say procure to pay, order to cash, like you have a purchase order, purchase requisition, order, purchase receipt, purchase invoice, end-to-end flow is there with a different configuration, different settings. So customer also comes to know, okay, this product is completely, this is a matured product and lot of things already there. So I should not worry about that. These things should be, would be there or not, and I should be covering everything in the requirement document, right? So that's why when you show them the product, when you show them the when you onboard directly on the product, this helps you a lot, and that's why we recommend agile methodology to follow. The next is the land and expand. So basically what we have seen, like a lot of partners are doing the implementation and they basically take the full-fledged product implementation or full-fledged project, right, where they have to do the core product implementation, other products implementation as well, multiple modules, like they have to do a core ERP Next implementation, then HR, then CRM, then help desk. All these modules are there, products are there. Then they have a lot of integrations, like they want to build their custom ordering system, right? Whatever they are using for ordering, that custom app also they want to replace with the ERP Next. Again, integrations with their e-commerce site or any other sites, right? All these things they take in one go, right? They commit the customer, okay, we'll replace your ordering app, we'll do all this integration, we'll do all this customizations, and along with that, all these products will get implemented, right? So, and gradually we have seen that those products are not kicking off. Okay, those projects are in the mid of the project. Such kind of projects are getting uh, delayed or getting like escalated, or all these things start happening, right? So it is always suggested to land and expand, right? You first go with a small piece of implementation, maybe small piece of customization or integration if customer is already using the ERP Next, or if the customer is new, you can tell customer, okay, first go for the core product implementation, and then phase manner we will implement the other things. Okay, so first just give a core product implementation that might be a time and material, or that might be a lump sum project for you, where you will just do the core product implementation. Okay, in such cases what will happen, customer will also see the quality, right, will see your services. Okay, it will build the trust between you and customer, right, it builds the relation, confidence, all these things happen. And then customer, once customer has a confidence on you, he will give you the other projects as well, and he will give you the time to deliver other projects, like whatever customization integrate, and they will understand your pain points as well, right? But if you are taking the whole project and taking advances from customer, and then later on you are saying, okay, this is not happening, this I'm not able to do because of framework limitation, or this because of this, right, customer will not buy your arguments, right? So that's why land and expand is the right strategy to go. Okay, this also reduces your risk, right? If you are taking whole project, and if customer is like scrapping the project in between, you are losing the project, you are losing the customer, you are losing the project, it is also financial loss, right, everything. So that's why always recommended to go with a small piece of implementation. Mainly you can go with the standard product implementation, maybe with the first core modules like only ERP next, buying, selling, accounts, inventory and manufacturing, and then phase manner you can go with the other project like HR, payroll, help desk, whatever products they are requiring. And again the customization and integration, like if they want to replace their ordering system, just okay. And we have seen like customers are like not implemented basic ordering system in the systems, right? They are still raising the orders out of the system, but they, whenever they go for any new ERP implementation, they have a big wish list which they want to implement, but that is not practically possible, right? They have to see the change management, they have to see the adoption, right? After day-to-day work, customer user also has to adopt the system. So all these things are also challenges, and those are the major challenges during the implementation. So it is always recommended to go the land with this approach. The
Dipen,
next is
Dipen, sorry to interrupt.
yeah.
Can you please use slideshow because people are not understanding which particular point you are talking about. So
Yeah, sure, sure. Yeah, so we just completed the land and expand point. Okay, next is phasing out the deliverables. Okay, so if you're going for the whole project, right, or even for the core product implementation, right, phasing out will be the very important point into the implementation, right? Like even if you are going for the core product implementation, first tell customer, okay, let's go with the core modules, right? Let's first complete the buying, selling, inventory, accounting, and manufacturing. If the manufacturing has lot of customization and other things, maybe you can ask them to go with the basic manufacturing, and then later on uh, with the customization, custom apps, right? Whatever customizations you are delivering. So phasing out entire project is very important, right? Uh, and this also helps you and customer both, right? Reducing when you are reducing the risk. For example, if you're going for full-fledged project, right? And if customer side is not ready with the lot of adoption or lot of changes, right? Your entire efforts goes. Because if customer decides to, okay, I don't want to do the implementation, or I don't want to continue with the implementation, you lose the project and every financially as well, right? And moreover, customer has no vendor locking, right? So in ERP Next, since it is an open source, see, after seeing your deliverables, customer will think, okay, I'll go with another partner. This partner is not able to deliver the project, right? So, and we are seeing, because a lot of customers are reaching out to us that please let us know which or other partner we should go with, right? And first they are starting with the one partner, and later on they are ending with the two, three, four partners for the project. So that's why always phasing out will help you, right? That will build the confidence in the customer, okay? And customer will also see the results. Like if you are just doing the first core product implementation, customers say, okay, product is capable. Now other things I have to implement, that will be a implemented phase-wise manner. Okay. Again, the change management, adoption, because if customers, users have not used any ERP, okay, or have not done all this transaction in any ERP, right? Because see, many times like it's easy to create purchase order in Excel because they just have to duplicate, change the few values, and their purchase order gets ready. But if they are implementing any ERP, they have to do all this data entry. Okay, so many times it happens like when you are going and implementing ERP next or any ERP, user says, okay, this is taking too much time to do all this data entry, right? So such kind of change management and adoption would be required. So if you go phased manner, then customers user will also get adopted slowly on the product, right? So that's why the whole project has to be phased out. You have to set the minor milestones, right? First, we'll go with the core product implementation, these modules only. Okay, there you will have a sign off. There you will have payment milestones. Okay, so this also reduces your risk. Like you will also get money after some milestones, right? And this also builds confidence in the customer. Okay, something is going on, right? Because if you go for full-fledged implementation, your requirement gathering, development, all everything is happen, and after 3 months, customer says nothing, like nothing has been delivered. So they feel like nothing is happening. So like they start seeing other partners, and all these things start happening. So that's why uh, phasing out is very important. The next approach should be following the process. You should be follow all the processes basically. Okay, follow all the processes like updating the project plan, issue tracker. Okay, this I will be explaining in the processes, like how you should create the project plan or what should be your issue tracker, and samples I'll also share. But whatever project plan you are creating wherever, right, you are updating it, you are maintaining it, you are maintaining the issue tracker, right? You are also following all the process, right? You're setting the weekly calls or bi-weekly calls with all the stakeholders, whatever you call it, project status call or steering committee call. So such calls should happen bi-weekly, right? And all the stakeholders like owners, all the senior management from should be there, and everyone should be aware of the project progress, right? And whatever risk or whatever blockers are there, you should be discussing it, and you should be finding the solution to it, right? So such processes has to be followed. Like we have seen, like in the many project, we during the kickoff we say, okay, we'll have the bi-weekly calls, okay, we'll have this that, but after once the project starts, we stop doing all these things, right? But like these calls are happening, these calls are helping much here. Like whenever we used to do a CSM, I used to follow this process, and this is helping a lot. Like customer is also helping us to, if any showstopper or any blocker is from customer side, they help us to clear those as well. So following the process is important. Okay. uh, Communication and documentation, right? All the important communication should be on email, right? You should be documenting it. So a lot of time you change the go live date or any plan date or any schedules, right? Or you do a different arrangement for, everything should be documented, because later on what happens, if you are just communicating with project champion over a call, whenever the escalation happens, like whenever customer side senior management will feel any escalations, right, you will not be able to produce any proofs or any documentation to them. Okay, see, this was the agreed and this was documented, right? So everything should be, all the important communication should be on the email and should be documented with all the stakeholders, right? Ensuring the quality. So we have seen recently on the many enterprise projects, like partners are deploying the very fresher resources, or the resources who have just recently joined them, right? They are not fully aware of ERP Next functionality or the ERP Next product. They might be experienced in other product, but they are not experienced on the ERP Next. They are not certified consultant or such, right? And they are just deploying such fresher resources even on the enterprise projects. So this is like very bad impression in front of customer, right? Because customer will come to know, if you are deploying any fresher resources at the customer side on the implementation, they will come to know after 2 days time, they will come to know, okay, this is a fresher resources. And we get lot of escalation for such kind of deployments happening by the partners. So let's see, if you're having a resource issue, you can take one project less, but whatever project you are doing, just do with the quality resources or the experience resources. Whoever is the new resources have joined you, you can ask them to shadow in that whatever projects are going on, or allow them some time to learn the product, to learn the processes, and then deploy them on the project directly. Okay, so this is a very serious like issue, and this will of course create bad impression about the implementer, right? Escalation. So we have seen, right, many times what happens, we are not doing this. So as an implementer, we also have to do sometime escalations, right? It's not customer will do always escalation against us, right? As an implementation consultant, you also have to do escalation. So for example, I'll give you a few examples. So recently, one of the enterprise project, what happened? Um, User was bringing very edge cases. Okay, so during the process mapping session, he was bringing like very edge cases or very weird cases or cases which are not even coming to them, like the future things they were escalating. Okay, and every time they were dragging the discussions and then not doing the testing, and whole flow they were dragging it, right? So during our weekly call, I discuss, see, this is the issue, this is the use case your team has brought, and we currently have no solution, but we have suggested the workaround, but users are not accepting it, right? In the call, CFO was there, and then CFO asked the user, this case is very rare, like it is hardly a 5%. Wherever user was saying, it is a 80% of their use case, right? So CFO told, okay, this is a 5% case, and we can go ahead with the workaround, no issue. And user was saying, no, this is a showstopper, we cannot go ahead with the without the solution, right? So such thing happens. So users, right, they will knowingly unknowingly they will bring such cases, right, very rare cases or such cases. So always, okay, many times what happens, they will give you a time, right? Okay, every day or every alternate we will connect 11 a.m. or whatever time, okay, but they are not showing up during those calls, right? So one or two time is fine, right? If they have any urgent work or something, one or two time is fine, but everything is same pattern you are seeing, it is better to escalate. Okay, it is better to escalate to the project champion and their higher management during a weekly calls or bi-weekly calls. Okay, such thing should be escalated as showing as a risk, right? So, and this escalation always helps. So whenever I used to do a delivery, like whenever I feel like this is creating a issue, I used to do customer, okay, please do a one escalation, write it to my manager directly, and I'll set up the call. And internally, I was used to uh, give all the updates to my manager and bringing on the call, right? And in the call, the the things were getting sorted because both the teams, higher management, discuss and sort it out, right? So escalation always helps you. So it's not escalation is you're complaining, you are just escalating the issue that this is bringing during the implementation. Can we have a solution to it? That's it. Okay, so such processes will help you. Okay, so this is the approach which we recommend to take. This is the approach we used to take. This has helped us a lot. You can also try in your projects. And so next is basically process. So we'll go ahead with the process. Just okay. The next is customer retention. Okay, so our motto should be customer retention, right? It's not one time implementation, right? You should be focusing on your recurring revenue, right? Whenever we get a customer, we think, okay, this is an enterprise customer or this is a customer, I'll do the one time implementation, I will do lot of customization integration, and I'll move out the project, right? That is actually not the correct way to see the project or to see the customer. Whenever any customer comes, right, they always need a support, right? They always need someone to during their ERP journey. So ERP is not a 1 year implementation, this is a whole journey, right? Throughout their usage, they will need someone to help them for support, for other things implementation, right? So always you have to think in perspective of recurring revenue, not a one-time revenue. So you should be focusing on the retaining the customers. Once you retain the customer, you will also have a recurring revenue, recurring projects from the customer. You will also get a references from the customer, right? You will also have a testimonials and other things. This helps you to put on your website to get a references. Whenever you get a customer will ask you, okay, show me which customer you have already implemented. Can I connect with the customer and take any feedback, right? So, and I've seen like a lot of partners are struggling for closing or uh, their first project only. If you have that also builds a confidence. If you complete the first project, that will build a confidence in you, in your team as well. Okay, so that's why whenever customer is coming, just see in terms of customer retention, not only seeing as a one-time project. Okay, and you will also follow all these above approaches just to keep the customer with you. Okay, so of course the customer has a choice of other vendors and everything, but if you're giving quality service, if you're giving good services, customer will remain with you. Okay, and as a OEM also, we are not doing a L1 support, so customer will need a L1 support, right? So they will be continuing with you. If they are doing a lot of customizations, integration, they will be needing you for whenever migration will happen, whenever they move to next version. So day-to-day support also they will need. So just think that perspective. So customer retention is also important, and that should be our approach. Like we want to retain the customer. Okay. So these are the steps for approaches. Now we'll move to the processes. What should be our implementation process, or what you can follow as a part of implementation process. Okay, so these are the process. I'll go in detail with all the processes. So first we'll go with the internal handover, right? So see, first, whenever you win any new implementation project, first your internal handover should happen between sales and delivery. So your sales team has done all the pre-sales and sales activity. They have sold the project. They have sold the ERP Next product customer. Now you have your delivery team has to go and do the implementation. So first your internal handover should happen between sales and delivery, right? In internal handover, your sales team will give idea about the customer, right? Who are they, what they are doing, who are the stakeholders, who are the owners, right? Who will be the project champion, right? What they are using currently. These things should be handed over. Like this should be documented somewhere. Like you can have some doc type in the ERP Next site or wherever, or you can have a simple Word document where your sales team will fill all this information, and this will be used by your delivery team, right? What will be your scope of work, right? What is your scope of work? Like if you are going with the only core product implementation, we have seen, right? Many times what happens, customers are saying, okay, I have asked this many changes, but partner is saying, no, I have taken only core product implementation. Okay, and this kind of dispute happens, right? Many times between delivery team and customer team. Okay, and then you go and ask your sales team, okay, what you have committed, what you have not committed. So documenting the scope of work, right? Or clear communication with customer and clear communication with your internal delivery team, and both teams should refer the one document only. So if you are sharing sales order with the customer, the same sales order should be with the delivery team, having all this information, right? So that whenever if sales team is not there, delivery team can also show that, okay, see, this was our commitment, and that is what we are delivering, right? So scope of work, what will be your scope of work, what will be the timelines. Many times what happens, sales commit, okay, we'll make you live within a one month's time. Okay, wherever your delivery team thinks, okay, minimum every customer will take 3 months time to uh, do the implementation, right? So if you have done any special commitment or something, you should be let your team to know. So these things should be get discussed in your handover. Payment milestones, what are the payment milestone, what are the key pain points which has been discussed by your customer with your sales team, right? So see if customer has told, okay, I want to implement ordering system. So this is my important point which I want to implement. So you have to highlight your delivery team. Okay, the ordering system customer wants to implement first. So that is how that point or that thing delivery team will keep in mind, and that is how they will do the implementation. If you have done any special commitment, any special arrangement, on-site implementation, multiple two resources deployment, such commitment we are seeing you are doing even on paper, but not doing the actually. So we have seen that partners are doing the commitment. Okay, we'll deploy two technical resources in your on-premise, right? And after a few days, they remove all both the resources, and then customer comes that you have asked, you told us that you will deploy two resources, but now no one is coming to our office. So all this special commitment has to be documented, has to be communicated to your team, and then you also have to fulfill that commitment, right? If you're committing something, you have to honor it. Then any important communication, okay, you have to do. Then after your internal handover, your delivery team should start getting ready for project kickoff. Okay, so after your internal handover, this is your internal activity, like getting ready for project kickoff. So you will prepare a presentation, you will prepare a high level project plan. All these things will be a part of project kickoff, so your team will start preparing for that. So next process would be a kickoff call. So this is very important. You should have kickoff call uh, whenever you do a project. When you are starting a project, first have to be do we have to start with the kickoff call, where you have to do a team introductions with the roles and responsibilities. Okay, so both teams will be introduced. Like you will introduce your resources. If you are deploying multiple resources like technical consultant or functional consultant, so then you have to introduce them. So this will be your technical consultant, this will be a functional consultant, this will be a team lead, or this will be your escalation matrix. So all this detailed team introduction has to happen. Even from client side, who will be the project champion, who will be the department heads, who will be involving in testing and all these things, right? Who are the owners? Okay, so owners are generally the directors, managing directors who have signed the contract, or who are the real stakeholders in this project, right? The And they also have to be like, you should be knowing who are the owners, not only the project champion, because many times we have seen that uh, as an implementation team, we are not aware like who is the owner of the company, or who is the uh, main stakeholder of the company, right? Whenever any escalation happens, or wherever you want to reach someone, right? Because they are the main stakeholders, they want to implement something in their company, right? So they are the main stakeholders, and we should be aware that who all are there. Their basic contact information, right? Phone number or email address has to be with us, and we should be looking them in all the important email communication. Setting the expectations, right? So this is very important. During kickoff call only, we have to set the expectation, right? So if you are doing a core product implementation, like, tell them this is a core product implementation, this is a standard product having lot of functionalities available. Okay, so we'll be implementing first core product. Okay, whatever your processes are there, first we'll map with the core product. So that is how you have to set the expectation. Then the who will do what. So you can also tell customer, okay, what are your responsibilities, so, and what will be their responsibilities. So what will be the project champion responsibility, what will be the product department head's responsibility. So mainly all the responsibilities is with project champion only, because he has to get all the stakeholders on the call, he has to get all the testing sign off, everything project champion has to get. So you have to clear expectations, right? Like, you're not going and talking with the users and asking for testing results or sign off documents and all these things, right? So everything is expected from project champion, he has to do all these things. So setting expectation is very important. Setting expectation with the senior management like CFO, CEO, owners is also important. Like, you want them on the bi-weekly or steering committee calls, okay, where you will discuss the project status, raise any showstoppers, blockers, right? So you have to set the expectation, right? You will need 1 hour after every 15 days you will need their 1 hour, okay, or whenever you want you can reach out them. So all this expectation has to be set, okay. And this expectation you can set with the experience, like we have done the experience, we have an experience that without your involvement the project will not fly. So all these things you can communicate during the kickoff call and ask, like, bring their attention in the project. High level scope of work and project plan with timelines, right? So during kickoff call only you have to show that, see, this is our project scope, very high level you can show, okay. And also there your project plan, so this is our project plan based on whatever timelines you have understood from your sales team. So this would be our project plan and this would be our timelines. So in project plan you can show them like by what date you will complete which module, all these things, right? Every week how many calls you are going to do. So I'll just show one project plan here. See, this kind of project plan we used to follow. Okay, so where we mention like setting, buying, stock, every module for start date and end date, and based on your actual end date, the dates gets changed. Like you will get a variance here. Okay, so and if you are getting delayed, the it will get. So I'm going to share all these links with you, so you can copy and use your sheet for whatever changes you want to do, you can do. But I'm just showing high level project plan how we used to do. So for example, how you used to calculate the project plan, right? So for example, if I have to do the buying cycle implementation, right? These are the doc types or these are the modules we have to cover, right? How much time each will take, that you will come to know based on your experience, right? So for example, say this will take 1 hour, okay, to do all these master, like getting supplier details, like basic, the supplier master and item master. This takes 1 hour, right? So daily, if you have a 1 hour or 2 hour call, so if your call is on 30th of March, right? This will end on 30th March. On 31st March, you will do this. So what happens? Like whenever in the project call, kickoff call only, we ask customer like, what will be your availability in a week? How many days you will be available? Are you going to available once, twice, or thrice? Okay. So in this project, we had 3 days, like Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. We used to have a 2 hour call, okay, with the user for process mapping. So likewise, I plan my detailed project plan. But in the starting only, in the kickoff call only, I ask customer, right, to give your that availability, okay, and we block their calendar. So I send the recurring invite to them, and I block the calendar for every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. So whatever times works with the customer and you, that you can decide. This is just an example I'm giving. So we used to connect every day. So recurring invite was sent, the same link we used to get, and every day we used to connect. So that is how we like plan the whole project with the detailed project plan, like on which day we will cover what, by in weeks time we will cover which module. Likewise, we in the 3 months time we will be doing the core product implementation. Okay, so that is how uh, we used to do the kick in the kickoff call only. We used to show them the high level project plan and timelines, and we understand their availabilities, right? Their availabilities, and accordingly we modify the final project plan, right? Then you can also discuss with them approaches and schedule, right? So what will be your approach, how you are doing the implementation, what would you do and what they have to do, right? So like in the later process we will see like process mapping. So like we do a process mapping, we show them, we give you the direct lives, like UAT site where you have to do all this testing, whatever discussed in the process mapping call. So all this approach and method you have to explain them, and what is expected from them, that also you can explain them. Escalation matrix, you should be sharing your escalation matrix and also ask customer to share their escalation matrix if any. Okay. Project plan preparation and sharing. So after your kickoff call, so these are the activities which you have to do in the kickoff call. After your kickoff call, basically you have to do a detailed project plan preparation and sharing it with the customer, and take their acceptance. Okay. So like this is your project plan, right? After your final project plan, you will share it with the customer. See, this is our project plan, and this is like this will be our actual start date. This will be our expected end date. Okay, and this is our project plan. So customer will also come to know, okay, which module is completing when, okay, when they are to available for testing and all these things. They will also be ready with the plan. So after kickoff call, you have to do a project plan preparation and you have to do the acceptance and getting ready for process mapping. So this is our next step. Here I'll explain the next slide. Okay, just 1 minute. I'll just have some water. Okay, so the next step is process mapping. So we call it as a process mapping internally when we used to do the consulting and implementation. So in process mapping, what we used to do is basically we like directly create a site and share it with the customer. We in the call, we go on the call with the users and we ask them, okay, what is your current process? Say for example, what they want to implement buying cycle. So what is your current process? So they will say, okay, we are creating first purchase order, then purchase receipt and whole process. Okay, they will explain us. Then we used to show them directly in the ERP next site. See, this is how you can create a purchase order. This is how you will be creating your suppliers item during purchase order process. Like you will come to know, okay, we have a service purchase order, we have a material purchase order, we have an import purchase order. So all these use case used to discuss, and we used to map it in ERP next site, and we show it. See, this is how you will create your supplier item. You will fill your forms, like how you where you will select the supplier item. Okay, so all these things you used to map and show it to them. Okay, so 1 or 2 transaction we used to create, and after the session they have to go and they have to create test transaction in the ERP next. Okay, and during this process mapping we used to maintain this issue tracker. So we don't do any requirement gathering or anything during mapping session. Only if any gap identifies, right? If they say, okay, I have a rate contract. Say for example, customer has said, okay, we don't have a standard purchase order process. We have a rate contract with our suppliers, and they supply us the goods, and based on rate contract, our rates get changed. So if we create a purchase order, but when customer supplies, say for example, steel, if they are buying steel, so steel rates are continuously changing, right? So if I have issued the purchase order to my steel supplier, but when they supply, the rate gets changed. So such cases they will discuss with you. So for those things, you already have some solution in the ERP next, right? Update option in the purchase order, right? But many times that will not work. So such thing you can identify as a gap, okay, and you can note down that point. Okay, you see here, you will see the date, the same date which you are seeing in the project plan. You will see date here, module, okay, doc type, in the which doc type they are facing, and then these are the status. Okay, so what used to happen, I used to write the what is there, what is the gap identified. Okay, and then I used to categorize it as a finding. So this is a customization or this is a bug. If it is a bug, I used to raise a ticket. If it is a functional, see, if I have to do some fetch from here, or I have to write some small condition or script or something, I used to categorize it as a functional, and then before next day I used to do all this configuration. In the next day I used to show them. So that is how we used to categorize it, right? If it is a feature request not available in the core product and I cannot do a customization, it is a feature request not available, so I used to identify as a feature request. And then also I used to give the link of that feature request, whatever I used to do internally. For your case, if you are raising it on GitHub, you can copy paste the GitHub link here, right? So this gives a clear visibility to customer, right? What is happening, like how many points are coming in, what are the gaps, what are the functional issues, and customer also has to identify it as a critical. This is critical for them, or this is a This is a good to have, right? So such categorization you will see here. Okay, in this Excel sheet you will see everything, like customer also has to update all these columns, and they also have to identify if it is a critical for them. Then we have to come up with some solution, right? We have to do some customization or come up with some workaround or something. So this is a complete issue tracker I used to. So this is a like this is actual of one of the project I have implemented, and I'll be sharing it with you. So you can copy and create one sheet for you. So these are simple columns I've created. You can have your own. Okay. So if it is a go live critical, they have to identify. So all these things we used to maintain here. So this is your basically gap analysis. You can say this is also creates you like gives you what are the gaps or what are the points there for customization, what all points are there for feature request or small changes. So this is kind of your gap sheet, you can say. Okay. So we used to do process mapping. We used start with the core modules only. So first we start with the say ERP next core modules: buying, selling, accounts, inventory, and manufacturing. First customer has to onboard on the core modules only, and then later on we switch to like any other module, right? Then if CRM is there or HR payroll is there, first they have to onboard on the core module. You cannot start parallelly all the modules, right? Because then customer will, if the project champion or the users are same, they will not be able to focus in all the modules. So first onboard them with the core module, and then on the later on the other modules, right? And first onboard them with the core functionalities. So they have to test, they have to identify gaps, and you can make it, you can list it in the issue tracker, and later on you can find the solution. But first explore the core functionality. Uh, yeah, along with that, we also used to maintain the configuration tracker. So in one of the Excel sheet, what you used to do, we used to write like what are the changes there. So for example, in buying, if they have kept rate throughout the cycle, right? That setting is there in buying settings. So if that setting is enabled and that customer wants to follow, we used to list such configuration in one of the Excel sheet, so that whenever we have to create any production site, all this configuration we have to do. So we also maintain the such configuration tracker. Okay. And then the testing sign up. So basically what happens here, after showing them the purchase order, purchase receipt, purchase invoice cycle, end-to-end cycle, okay, uh, they have to first test all these scenarios. So for example, they have given me 4 scenarios. I have shown them 4 rec records. Like I created 4 records and shown them. Now I've shown them how to create. They have to go and they have to create their 510 transaction for each of the use case. And they have to test and they have to sign off. And like they have to test, they have to identify whatever gaps. They can also maintain one issue tracker with them and they can discuss it with me. But after that, they have to sign off. Sign off will happen here only. So it's not like some document you have to sign off or something, but you can ask for sign off here in the sprint sheet only. Like, okay, I've tested this. This is completed. Here you can add one more action, right? So so they have to complete that sign off without like if you are not following this process, say if you're not doing a testing, okay, you have done all the modules mapping, then customer will later on come with the different use cases. Okay. So you have to strictly follow the process. Okay, if you are not tested the buying cycle, take 2 more days. We'll cancel the today's meeting and we'll connect again on next once you complete your buying module testing. Okay, so strictly you have to follow the process. Otherwise, what will happen, you will complete all your mapping sessions and later on customer will come up with the different use cases, and again you have to go and map those use cases. So following the process is also important, and without sign off, like without uh, sign off, you should not move to the next module. So unless you get sign off on buying, you should not move on the inventory module or stock module, right? So after your process mapping, so one by one, you if you map all your say You have mapped the buying, inventory, accounts, manufacturing, all the modules, right? End-to-end testing has been done by the customer. You can plan your UAT, user acceptance testing. Okay. And in UAT, you should not be going for full data upload. Like we have seen, like before UAT, also only customer asks, okay, I want to upload all my masters, all my customer, supplier, item master. No, not needed. Before UAT only you ask customer, or during UAT only you ask customer whatever sample master you want to create, you can create in the UAT side. Okay, you can show them how to upload it using data import if they want to test that. Okay, so you can also show them creating it from UI. So both things they have to try. Okay, so they have to create few supplier master, customer master from UI through upload, but just a sample 10, 20 master, whatever they are needing for UAT testing. Okay, no need to do a full master data upload. You have to, and here consulting comes in the picture, right? Customer will ask you anything. Okay, customer will tell you anything, but you have to go with the consulting approach. See, this will not happen, this is not needed now. We will do all the master data upload before production site. So all this consulting approach you have to have. And now in one of the cases, like one of the enterprise customer, what happened, they will start calling all the UAT, like UAT 0, UAT 1, UAT 2. And what they used to do, okay, UAT 1 will core product, like core team will do the UAT 0. Then we will go with the few users, uh, say department head, they will do the UAT 1. Then we'll go with the end users. So they were basically their LMS implementation was happening. So the core team, like project champion team, did the UAT 0. Then the whoever are the evaluators and all these things, teachers and all this, they were doing the UAT 1. When they went to end user, like student, they call it as a UAT 1. Like they given their own names to it, right? So at that time, you have to clearly tell the customer, see, you can name it UAT 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have no issue. I have only one UAT. Once you give me UAT sign off, then I'll move to the next step. Okay. So whatever time you want to take to test your internally with different stakeholders, that you can do it. But for me, UAT is only one, right? So that is how you have to consult with them, right? They will call it a whatever, like UAT 0, 1, 2, and then they will come up with the changes. Okay, after UAT 0, okay, I want this change, that change, right? No, because during this testing only you should be getting all your changes. Okay, not during the UAT. UAT is your final system which you're testing. During UAT only you should be getting the issues whatever you have deployed. If you have deployed any customization, integrations, anything, if that is breaking, that is no new use case, no new scenario should be coming in the UAT. Okay, and here you have to go with the consulting approach. Okay, if anything is coming, tell them, okay, let's park it, we'll take it later on. First give us the UAT sign up, and if possible we'll cover it. See, if any whatever use case they are bringing, if it is easy to incorporate, you can incorporate, but if they come with the major changes, you will not be able to do, right? So that is how you have to take a consulting approach and stands during your implementation processes. Then end user training. So only after UAT your end user training should happen, right? You cannot go and give end user training before UAT, right? Because for UAT, lot of, if you have done any customizations, right? If you have created any custom app or any doc type or any fields, those fields will be visible and tested during UAT. Okay. And those fields, if it is a mandatory field or important field, those fields, those forms, you will be showing it in training. So that's why your training should be happening after UAT only. Okay. And you should be having the proper training schedule. Like, okay, this date will be covering this module. So all the stakeholders, all the users of that module should be available, right? You should be conducting it like maybe in conference room or something like that, where all the users are present. They can record such sessions, all these things. It should not be repetitive. Okay, like in one of the enterprise project, what we used to face, like they did this training 5 to 6 times. Okay, like for example, they're setting the buying training. like few of the office members didn't join. Then they again requested, okay, I want training one more time. I want training one more time. Likewise. So you have to tell them, okay, these training sessions will happen 1 or 2 times is fine. Okay, this will be recorded, but you have to like ask them what is the convenient time for all your stakeholders, right? Because implementation is also equally important with their day-to-day work, right? So they have to find the schedule, they have to find the time, and they have to give the importance to these things, this activity as well. Okay, after your trainings or during your training sessions, you can also start preparing for go live. Okay, for go live you can have such kind of go live tracker. Okay, where you will be listing all the activities which you have to complete. Okay, who will be the responsible? Okay, and what will be the target start date, target end date, status, and remark. Okay, because many times what happens, you commit. Okay, say after training, customer will tell you, okay, from tomorrow I want to go live. That is not possible, right? Because you have to do lot of activities before go live. So it might takes 1 week's time, right? So you have to show the customer, okay, see, this many activities have to be completed, and where your role is also important. So if customer has to do all these setups and okay, if customer has to do all this setup, if customer has to do all these setups, all this provide the data, right? Opening data upload, master data upload, they have to also do a lot of activities, right? And actually the project stuck here, like go live stuck here, where data is going to be coming from them, right? So they are not aware like this is a major activity or huge activity which they have to do, right? So all this activity has to be listed out and with should be shared with everyone. Okay, so that what will happen once you give the target start date, end date, and you are tracking this sheet, everyone will be aware what all activities have to be completed, right? And then suddenly escalation will not come, okay, we are waiting for to go live for so many days, right? Because these activities are not completed, so you cannot go live. They have not shared the live data like opening data or master data with you, how you are going, how they are going live, right? So that such kind of trackers also you can use during implementations. Okay, you can start the go live preparation. Okay, uh, after go live preparation, like whatever date is mutually agreed, you can plan a go live. Post go live, you have to give a go live support. So during go live support, basically like for 15 days or months time, you will be giving the go live support. The consultant who are doing the implementation, they will only be giving the support. Okay, then your go live sign offs will happen. Okay, once you get a sign off, you have to do a internal handover to your support team, right? So if you have a separate team for implementation and support, then your from your implementation team to your support team, handover should happen, right? What all modules you have implemented, what all customizations you have done, somewhere has to be documented, right? And then you will also tell the customer, now your go live is done, we have done the go live support, now we are moving you to our support team where you have to raise the ticket. So you will also have to give small handholding training to customer to use your support portal, whatever support portal you are using. Okay, so you have to show how customer will raise the ticket, what will be the SLA, who will support, how will they will get support, all these things, right? So this handover should happen between your teams also and with the customer also. Like you also have to let the customer know now there is no direct consulting team is involved and you are moved to support, and your support will be based on SLA, right? It cannot be uh, very quick or like you ask query and will give answer, like kind of support will not be there. So they have to wait after raising the ticket 2 hours time or 4 hours time, whatever SLA you have, that has to be communicated with the customer. And the last step would be taking the feedback from the customer on your implementation. Okay, this feedback is also important for your audit purposes when Frappe is doing the audits. Okay, and this will also give you the feedback like how you are doing the implementation, where you can implement, customer is happy with your implementation or not, and that is how you can do all your quality controls. Okay, So here your implementation process ends, and yeah, so this is the process which we recommend to you use, and this help us lot, and we used to follow this process in all our SMB projects, all our enterprise projects, and this has helped us a lot, right? This reduces lot of documentation in the initial phase, and also help us to maintain all the records so that we can refer it later on for whatever quality and other purposes, right? So yeah, questions and feedbacks. If anyone has anything, please ask. I'll also share both the sheets link with you. Please copy uh, and use it. Okay, if you want to use it, you can use it, but just copy and use it. Chat, I'll be sharing the link.
Hello.
Yeah,
This is
please go ahead.
Doreen. Thank you so much for the presentation. This was quite informative. At some point, you mentioned about the training and
Yeah.
how the importance of having certified consultants. So we are looking at the options, and I just wanted to clarify, do we have one that is specific for functional experts and then another one for technical experts, or do they just go through the same certification?
No, we have two different certifications. For
Mhm.
technical, we have a framework certification, and for functional, we have a separate functional certification. So
I see. Could someone just point it out on the chat, which is for which? Then I'll pick it up from there.
yeah. So link will be sharing. Naveen, can you share the Frappe School link on the chat?
Yeah, so I've seen the Frappe School
Yeah,
link. Just want to know
sure.
which one I should plan for which team members.
So there is clearly written on the like which certification is for what.
Okay, I have it open right now.
Yeah.
And here it's got two batches, actually, sorry, three batches. So official framework certification, then Frappe framework training. And actually there were three, there's a third one that's missing now. That was for ERP Next.
Yeah, so framework is for basically technical certification. Okay.
Okay, so any framework technical certification, the other one is for the consultants,
Yes.
functional consultants.
ERP. Yes.
Okay.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, something has changed in the past 1 hour since I checked, so maybe someone let's have a look. I can see the third batch is missing now.
Yeah. No issue.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, anyone else have any feedback, any questions, or any learnings or their experience they want to share? Like this is just an experience what we have done, like what from our learnings.
Hello.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Hi, sorry. Can I ask if where we'll be able to get the video?
Yeah, we'll be
Or-
sharing the
Yeah. Let me answer this.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we are going to share all these webinar videos soon, most probably by this weekend or something. So we are using platform to share this as a Frappe drive. So most probably by this weekend we will share all the webinars as of now we have done. And from there only you will get the documentation and also the certification material also, learning videos.
Okay. Can we get the link to the Frappe Drive?
Sure. We'll share you on your email ID.
Okay.
I'll also share. I have also shared the link on our WhatsApp group, Frappe partner group, right? So you can find the link there. For resources link I have shared, you can get that. Yeah.
Hi, Sanket here.
Yes, Ankit.
So, yeah, it was a really helpful session, especially someone who is a new partner. So, one question I'm having is most of the time when I'm meeting with the customer, they want to evaluate the system thoroughly so that, let's say, after a while, let's say, if we start with an agile approach, their concern is a partner should not say after a month or so that this is something needs a big customization or so that will cost the money or this is something is not possible. And that's why we are finding little tough going with an approach of agile because they want to know, especially as they are also checking with the competitors, they want to know everything what they are following should be achievable with ERP Next. So in such kind of argument, what should be our approach?
So see, in such cases, right, where customer wants to see like what is available in the core product, right? You
Mhm.
can you can ask them to like explore the core product functionality first,
Mhm.
like, where you can just give them 50 hours or 100 hours arrangement, okay, where
Mhm.
we'll be
Mhm.
showing them the whole standard functionality, right, with their processes. Okay, and during that processes you will identify all your gaps. Okay, so
Okay.
if you're going with the core product implementation, based on our experience, 100 hour is enough. Okay, where you sit with the customer, understand their
Mhm.
process, map it in the system and show them and identify all their gaps. Okay,
Okay.
so we used to do this, we call it as a onboarding. We used to do in around 2020, right? We used to do onboarding where we used to sell uh, 50 hours, 100 hour, 150 hours to the customers, right? After that, what we used to do, only we have to do show the core product to the customer. No customization, nothing. You tell me your process, I'll map it in core ERP next, how it will map, and then uh, they used to come to know that okay, these are the gaps which I need to customize. Okay, so this will help you like also identify a lot of things, like when initially you see few things as a major customization, right? But
Mhm.
during your onboarding or during such mappings, you will get lot of workaround or lot of other hacks to handle such customizations, right? So
Okay.
yeah, so that will help. Like you can tell the customer, okay, don't go with the full-fledged project. First, give me the only 100-hour project where I'll do the core product implementation, no customer, nothing. We'll identify the gaps and we'll list out all the gaps. And once you list out all the gaps, and then you can give them the uh, quotation or whatever, like estimated hours or something, what you want to give for development, right? Because initially identifying customization is very difficult, right?
Yeah.
They are saying something, we are understanding something, and then documentation is doing helping. And when you go and implement, actually that is a different thing, and then whole dispute starts. So that's why core product implementation is important.
Yeah, totally makes sense. And this also gives me, so if we have any training related to pre-sales, because this kind of very smaller arguments that we need to handle over there, and they might get convinced the way you give me argument, right? So if we have little guidance around how to handle this kind of concerns in the pre-sales, it will really help us close the deals
Sure.
and follow the process.
Sure, we'll
Thank you.
try to plan one webinar for such pre-sales things.
Cool.
Maybe you can share all the queries. So we see we
Mhm.
already have a success pack for customers. So a lot of enterprise customers are reaching out to our websites, right?
Mhm.
So we tell them first go with the success pack. In success pack, few of our partners are doing the core product implementation. They are just showing them the core product, how to implement the core product, right? Or what is
Mhm.
available in the core product. And then you decide whether you want to do customization or you are happy with the whatever core product available and you don't want to incur further cost, and you can continue with the cost. Or you can, like, customer also has the option to onboard the developers or functional consultant and start doing internal implementation, all these options, right? So success pack, we call it as a success pack, which is currently also available on the ERP Next. So that is how you can like convince your customer during your pre-sales.
Oh, okay. So I just went through the success pack, and I think we can offer the same pricing just to get them onboarded, and
Yeah,
then
yeah,
okay,
right.
cool. Yeah, this is really good.
So yeah, so your
Thanks.
success pack will be more like you will be on site, right? Your personal touch
Mm.
would be there. Customer will also have a confidence on you, right?
Mhm.
So you can sell it success pack like uh, after adding your things to it, right?
Yeah. Mm.
Yeah,
Sure. Thanks.
yeah. Thank you. Yeah, anyone else have any query or any feedback? Like this is the basically learning from us. Like you, if you have any other learnings or anyone thinks that waterfall is working for them or something.
Yeah, I have a question.
Yeah, please.
You really showed very good Excel sheet. We are also using project management of ERP Next,
Mhm.
and some of our customers they're saying it's very basic. So why you didn't use project management function of ERP Next rather than you went to Excel?
No, see, we also used to have all these things tasks maintained in the project. Okay, so but here we wanted to plan very in detail, like each day what we are going to do. Okay, so on the 29th March when the project started, on the first day what we'll do. So on the first day we are going to discuss the supplier master, item master. Basically, we were starting from the buying, right? So if you go in my project plan, it is very much in detail, like for each day what we are going to do, and that was gradually getting converted into the higher project plan. If you see my sheet, okay, and this is one of the we wanted to try to have a very uh, comprehensive project plan. So that is where because in this project, I was having only 3 months time where 1,000 hour was sold only for customization, uh, apart from core project implementation, core product implementation, and the enterprise customer. And it was like next to impossible, right, to complete all these implementation in 3 months time. And customer was having 10 plants in one company. So all these things, lot of new things we have implemented, lot of new use cases, solutioning we have done. So this was only for testing also. And we also follow our ERP Next project plan in frappe.io only. We used to create the project and task. But yeah, this is just a sample. You can replicate it in your ERP Next site.
I got it. Because it's very convincing for customers that we give them access through the customer portal and they can give the sign-offs in ERP Next that we are using.
Yeah.
So
So all these things we also tried. We used to give the access to customer, and then in the weekly calls we used to open that project plan and then used to discuss all these things. But this was just to try very much in detail. Okay.
okay, I got it.
Yeah, here we
There's
are
one
not recommending any tools or anything. If you're comfortable in Excel or any tool, you can just following the standard practice is very much important. Okay, so you should be following all these, like you should be maintaining project plan wherever it is. It is in Excel, Jira, or Microsoft Dynamics or ERP Next, but you should be maintaining it. That is what we are trying to say here.
I got it. I just was talking about from the project trust perspective that we trust it. We are using it. You can also use it.
Yeah.
And it was really a good selling point for us for some projects.
Yeah.
It's me again.
Yeah.
I have another question on. I have another question. You have mentioned about the agile versus waterfall methodology. Do you have any snapshot or high-level illustration of how one could work better than the other, particularly the agile better than the waterfall? The reason I ask for this is, many customers tend to want to have their processes reviewed and going into detail, which we want to avoid also. But I was just wondering from your work, do you have anything that is showing that illustrated or in some sort of detail?
Yeah, see, agile versus waterfall, lot of things you will get on Google. If you search agile versus waterfall, lot of definition, lot of things, comparison.
Yeah, specifically for ERP Next.
Yeah. In terms of ERP Next, see, ERP Next is a standard product, right? And why we say agile, see, customer wants to see faster result, right? On the day one, if you are like, if you are in a week's time, if you are mapping their buying process end to end, they will see some result, right? And if you're going with the waterfall, where you are going, understand their requirements, documenting it, waiting for sign off, lot of back and forth happens, blueprinting, all these things, right? This takes normally 3 months time or 1 month to 3 months time. By the time customers' requirements get changed, their mind, they change their plan, the team gets changed. Okay, they will feel okay. 3 months went only for this documentation. I'm not sure how long it will take, right? So So, so just to build a confidence, quick result, quick confidence, product capabilities, right? Many times what happens, customers say, okay, this would not be there. So the ordering facility would not be there in ERP Next because they have not seen the ERP Next product, right? But when you go and show them, see, this is the whole cycle is there. Like you can from purchase requisitions to payment, whole cycle is there, whole flow is there. Then that builds the confidence, right? And when they see the actual system, that builds lot of confidence in the customer. Okay, and lot of new things they see in during mapping, right? Like when you show them the like lot of things, right? Like if you want to implement credit limit or other things, right? Other controls they want to implement, say they want to implement workflow, how easy it is to configure in ERP Next, right? Workflow, which you generally want to implement in purchase module, right? The purchase order will go for approval for multiple approvers. So all these things they see when they see directly in the product, na, that gives lot of confidence and good vibes. So that's why we call it, we say it agile. Why we say it agile? Like you just show the direct product to them. Okay. So
Yeah, so I understand that. I'm with you on this 100%. All I was asking is if you have it summarized somewhere in some sort of slides already. If you don't, it's okay. I'll figure it out. But if you do
Yeah.
already, I'd like you to share that with us.
yeah, please.
Okay, so if you will share.
You can prepare your own because I
Okay.
don't have readily available, so you can prepare your own.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, hi,
Anyone
Deepen.
else? Yeah, please go.
Yeah, it was a very, I think this was second time for us
Yeah.
because previously on one of the implementation in IndicTrans, you had you had given this input to us and that really helped us out. So this is my feedback to, what you have presented over here is. So till now there was, there are a lot of things this agile method is saving us because it's not just every time the blame has to be put on who is implementing, because this is something that helps both the people, both the stakeholders to see for the things and give a decision. Because when we prepare a document of a BRD or something like that, you will not find a consensus every time from all the stakeholders.
Right.
But when you are directly showing them what system is having, and once they are looking at it, actually they are getting more clarity for what they actually need. Because once they are saying the things, there are going to be good chances that what they say, what they understand, and what they want from system is totally different. But with this approach, their thought process is also getting streamlined, and they are getting the feel of what actually they are going to use. So this has really helped us in implementing a very in one of our very nice project, enterprise projects. So
Yeah. Thanks, Ganesh. Yeah, and you are the live example, right?
Correct.
That this has helped. Yeah.
Because unnecessarily, you are getting blamed for something that you have not done. But when you when you want to bring consensus of every people, you want to make it win-win, then this is something that has helped us in implementing.
Right. So see, that is what, right? Like customer will also not sign off that document because he wants to, like he wants everything should be covered in the document or mentioned in the document. And we as a partner or as a delivery, we also don't want to put such thing which we are not in our scope, or we should not be liable for it, right? So a
Right.
lot of back and forth happens for documentation, right? And even many times I've seen, like most of the times customer are not aware of their processes. If you ask them documentation, they will take months time to prepare their own document, right? And every stakeholder or every department will say their different own processes. So and many things they are not using it in system, right? So for example, the customer which we implemented this, right? They were not using the basic ordering functionality. Right? They were not basically creating the purchase order in the system, and they expect a lot of things should be coming in the document. So yeah, this helps a lot because many times customer has made the mindset, okay, this is a scratch system. Whatever we will tell, the partner is going to build, right? And that mentality is like very difficult to do the actual implementation. Wherever you say, see, this is the core product, the product has all the functionalities. We are just going to help you with the mapping. That helps a lot.
True, truly. So just to say thank you that, something which was going to get unabruptly closed, we could, make it again re-alive, and we could make it live again with this approach. So thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Nisham. Thank you for feedback. Yeah, so I would also ask all the partners, at least if you are following waterfall or any other methodology or not following any of the processes, you can try with in one of your project and see the result. You can see the difference. You should be trying multiple approaches, processes in different projects and see what is working for you in your region, in your country, or for which customer. And then also you can also apply. If you are having very rigid customer like they want, you can go with the waterfall, no issue. And you can charge the customer accordingly if customer is ready to pay. But if the customer is not ready to pay, better instead of losing the customer, you change your approach and go with the customer in a land and expand and phase wise manner, right? So yeah.
There are a few customers who like to have fixed amount contracts. So, like, no, there I think we have to use standard approach, not agile. We need to have scope, complete scope from the beginning. What do you say about that? Fixed amount contracts.
No, even fixed amount contracts also you can follow the agile. See, fixed amount and time and material, that is a different thing, right? For example, even in fixed amount, right, you will tell, okay, I'm going to charge you 5 lakh. Okay, I'll be doing the core product implementation. This will take this many days. Okay, and you will be completing that. See, fixed amount project, how like in fixed amount project, even you have to do all this. If you are saying, okay, I'll be doing all the customization, everything, how you are going to commit, right? Fixed amount. So if you're saying 100 rupees, but the project, the development itself is of 1,000 rupees, right? How you are going to commit it, right? So anyway, high level scope, you would be needing it. So it's better, like, you give me fixed amount, no issue, but let's go phase wise manner. First, go with the core product implementation. For that, you give me X amount. Then whatever gaps we have identified, I'll give you the fixed amount for that and pay me for that. Okay. And phasing out will also reduce your risk. For example, for core product implementation, you will be getting your money. Then whatever customizations, integration you have, that also you can phase out. You should not be taking all the customizations together. Maybe you should be taking it small piece of customization, right? First, and then likewise. And for those things, you can code them fixed amount, and after delivery, you can you will get your money. So it's not fixed amount or time and material. In both the cases, you can follow the agile. It's the approach, how you are commercial, like how you are doing your commercial arrangements, that is up to you.
Okay, I got it. Thanks.
Yeah, success pack is already listed on our page. Maybe Naveen, just see if we can share the link here. WhatsApp group, the partners active WhatsApp group is there already. Matthew, if you are not in that group, I'm not sure.
No,
Naveen,
the link is not shared. It's not shared there.
no, WhatsApp group daily we are publishing na what session.
Correct. So the links are not shared in that. I'm on that.
Okay.
Yeah, the links
are
are
talking about?
the link which you shared, the Excel, the planning Excel as well.
That I'll share after the call. Na? In the chat,
Fine,
I'll
fine.
already share, but in the WhatsApp group, I'll share the links of both the Excel.
Fine.
You can copy and use, and you can do whatever changes or modification you want as per your requirement. Okay. This is just a sample.
It
Yeah,
is
so
already shared in the
Christopher,
current chat box. Right?
yeah. So,
Okay.
sorry, Naveen.
It is already shared in the current chat box.
Yeah, current chat box already shared. They are asking for WhatsApp. So
Okay.
yeah, Christopher, your query, how do you handle a client who insists their customization done on the first round keeping? So I'll just share this case only where we were having the few customization identified by the customer. Okay. So what happened? Customer was already using the ERP Next. So they were knowing the few customizations or few gaps, right? So they explicitly asked us to involve in the like add it into the contract. So these were the few customizations which were get. Now this is very interesting. These were already added in our contract. My sales team added in contract and quoted some hours for this. Okay. Now what happened when we started mapping their processes? Okay, the green thing you are seeing got mapped with the core functionality. I did not have to do any customization for this. Okay, so lot of point got handled through the core functionality only, and I was able to close many of the point with the core functionality. And so, but yeah, like you were saying, like few of the gaps customer is knowing. So we had this CDNI sheet. The CDNI is basically customization, development, and integration sheet. Okay, in that all the gaps were mentioned. Okay, which I used to check when I used to do mapping of that module. So for example, ability to create payment request before payment entry, right? This is not available in ERP Next, right? So when we started the account module mapping, after mapping their core processes, I came to this sheet. I discussed this point with the user, like what you are expecting here. Okay. I also wrote the solution. Okay. So now here material received on DC should be blocker for usage until tax invoice received. Okay. So what they wanted after material receipt, the material should not get used till the time I am receiving invoice from purchase from the supplier. Okay. So now see, this point was part of customization. What solution I given? The solution is to create a pre-invoice warehouse. After receiving PI, transfer material to store location, and customer accepted this solution. So this whole customization point wiped out with the core workaround or solution, whatever I given. Okay. And like I also wrote the solution here. Now here e-way bill for interplant warehouse transfer. Okay. So now e-way bill will be generated at the time of internal transfer delivery. So this might not be available when they did a pre-sales, right? But later on it was available. So this point got answered. Okay. Now this point, advanced booking management. So I'm just giving you few examples here. The point was divided into three parts, and first two part was handled by core functionality, and for the later third part I have to do some customization. So this is how you can, like, if you are knowing the few customizations, plant wise P&L report, right? So this was also shown during the conference, right? This we created this customization for this client, plant wise P&L report. So few customers, if you are knowing, you can have a list of those customization, and you can also discuss those customization during our mapping sessions and take more details from the users, and you can plan your customizations or solution around it. Okay, Christopher, answer to your question.
Hi, this is Sam from Alignment. Quick question.
Yeah.
See this CDNI sheet that you showed.
Yeah.
Do you have something similar related to a business requirement capturing document that we prepare, the PRD document that we
No,
do?
see, this is a CDNI sheet. It's a simple copy paste of contract. So in the contract, my sales team mentioned all this point, right? I simply copy and pasted in the Excel sheet, and the other columns you are seeing, those were added by me only.
Yeah, so this is more like a compliance mapping, right? So what
No, not compliance mapping. I just wanted to list out all the points and covered during my mapping session. Okay. Identify if any customization required. and also identify what customization I have to do. Okay. So we are, see, generally we don't prepare very high level like documentation, what all changes I have to do. Very like what all changes I have to do in specific doc type or where the field is. Okay. And that customization I used to explain to the developer. Uh, okay. Very like I was not preparing a very lengthy document where I used to copy paste the screenshot and all these things. Okay. So I understood what you are asking, like any sheet or any documentation or any standard format you have, right? We don't have any standard format or we don't recommend any standard format. Basically, we are not recommending very detailed requirement gathering and all these things. But yeah, of course, when you are capturing the customization requirement, you can have captured like persona, use case, then what is required, right? And what changes would be required. That basic documentation you can do in Word document. So if we have anything, we'll be sharing it on WhatsApp group.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. But the documentation, if you want, you will get it easily on Google. If you search such documentation, sample documentation, many of the SAP giant implementation documentation is available on Google. So this
Yeah,
blue.
so we have two parts to this. One part is that the customer gives you a scope,
Hmm.
and you do a discovery part, and then you do the BRD part, right? So when I meant compliance, I meant how much does ERP core directly complies with the customer's requirement? One. Two, when you want to do customization, how do you capture that customization in an Excel sheet or any of those documents? So when I saw that CDNI, I thought it was very close to capturing the information during the BRD phase. So that's what I was alluding to. Yeah,
Right.
something like that, then it makes it easy because customization is where the key challenge would be. Because core we can deploy straight away. Or if there's any customization, then how do you capture those customization? Whether it could be screen by screen, or it could be,
Yeah, right. So yeah, see, it depends on customer to customer. Like many customer will ask you a lot of documentation, impact analysis, this, that, right? So it's up to you. Like if you are into that kind of arrangement, you can do all this documentation, and such documentation sample documents available on Google. You can search it. So we are not specifically giving like having any such kind of documentation, right? So yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Can we use WBS and issue log inside ERP Next project model? Because most of the time client asks us why we are on Excel and not. Yeah, so see, you can use the project module and you can do all these things in your ERP Next project module. Okay, lot of things not possible in project module, right? Project planning and all these things. So you can have your tasks with a start date, end date, and other things you can keep in your Excel detailing thing. Yeah, fine. Anyone else have any questions or anything, feedback or anything? Otherwise, we'll.
Yeah, it will be great if you can share those the link to the documents straight away in the chat. I mean, sorry, in the WhatsApp group.
Yeah. I'll be doing this after this call immediately.
All right, great. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, hi. I had one question.
Yeah, please.
Am I audible?
Yeah, you're audible.
All right. So let's say when we are doing any pre-sales activities or any engagement with the first level engagement with the customer, where the stakeholders require a certain visibility or sort of a POC for about the product. So, I mean, do you suggest any standard list or any standard set of master data that should be uploaded for a standard POC?
See, it depends on what kind of POC customer want. If they want very specific thing to see, then accordingly you need a such masters, right? If they want to
Right.
see standard product flow or something, very basic
Mm-hmm.
master, right? Supplier, customer, item master, you need it, right? Which you
Mm-hmm.
can, which you can just create some sample 5-10 masters of each and show them, right? But very specific POC, of course, you need different master for that specific POC.
So, I mean, my question is coming from more of an accounts standpoint, where, you know, setting up the chart of accounts, mapping those chart of accounts for, let's say, multiple processes, where, you know, account mapping was one of our challenges there. Secondly, let's say if we were working on any subcontracting process, which was a part of, let's say, the POC or any kind of HR related processes, where, you know, one quick payroll run or hierarchy or approval process, etc., was a part. So we were facing a few roadblocks in terms of, you know, defining the right master data, because we were just creating data on the fly since there were options. But then, you know, the overall we were not able to find a very organized list of items, or, you know, list of, let's say, a module wise master data that should be there in the system to make sure that one process is running end to end. So is there any kind of document or any kind of, you know, suggestions that you could share out here for that?
Yeah, so see, in our help document, whenever you
Uh-huh.
see any doc type, for example, sales order, so it gives you the prerequisite, right? Like
Okay.
you need a customer master, you need an item master. Those are the prerequisite for completing that doc type. Okay, so that is how for each doc type you will get a prerequisite, but not for whole module, right? And that is basically
Okay.
generally you have to, like, maybe for one project if you have done, you can create your own list, or this sprint sheet also covers a lot of master data details, the which I have shared now. In the sprint
Uh-huh.
sheet also there is a supplier master, item master, customer master, very basic thing, right? You need to set up
Right.
start of account.
Right.
So you can have your own list as well, and in the sprint
Mm-hmm.
sheet you find that.
Okay.
Okay.
Got it. Maybe I'll try referring to that sheet as
Yeah.
well, and
And then you
maybe if
can
there
have,
are any roadblocks, maybe I'll come back to you again.
yeah, fine.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. So thank you everyone for joining this session and for your comments, feedback.